I've received a lot of lovely messages and comments from people since I posted yesterday's story about my journey through ill mental health, and it's helped settle the warring sides of my brain that were telling me there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of you out there who have experienced something similar, and the other half which was trying to convince me I'm just a very small artist on social media who hasn't posted properly since Christmas, so why the hell would anyone care what I have to say? So anyway, we're pushing the doubts aside, and I hope you enjoy today's freshly filmed B-roll from my dog walk this morning. So it's day 2 of Mental Health Week, and let's talk about PTSD. It's most commonly thought of as something only sufferers of really serious traumatic events will experience. There are 2 types: complex PTSD, which is trauma that is long-term and still ongoing, either in real life or in the mind, and PTSD, where the trauma can be tied to a specific event or cause that has now ended. A year after ending the abusive relationship that had caused my own mental health crash, I suffered a post-traumatic breakdown. There were a few things that had caused it. Finally being safe in a relationship, having to be confrontational over a rabbit at work, and an unfortunate yet retrospectively funny incident of a year 7 pushing the boundaries and persistently trying to get in my desk space, which my animal fear brain interpreted as a threat. The thing about PTSD is that it comes when the battle is fought. Just when you feel like you're getting a grip on reality, the second round comes to sweep you off your feet. I had spent a year cycling through the different fear responses: fight, flight, and freeze. The fight response, or anger, hit me first, and I got into arguments with my friends and even started a confrontation with my parents' neighbour. After fighting for so long, peace and silence was very alien to me. The flight response hit when I met my husband, and I mentally came and went from falling for him because my brain was trying to keep me safe. When I finally learned over months that the hammer was never going to fall, he was never going to get angry and shout at me, he was never going to abuse me, my walls crumbled and I hit the freeze response. I got in my car one day and drove to work, started to cry, and when I got to work, I couldn't leave my car and had to get someone to help me out. I began weeks of counselling that helped me categorise the flashbacks I was experiencing into chronological order and lay them to rest. I would thoroughly recommend talk therapy to anyone struggling. Another strange thing about PTSD is the forgetfulness. There are still 2 years of my life I don't fully remember properly. But the strange thing is, it doesn't just cause you to forget the bad stuff. You forget everything. I can't easily remember things I did, people I met, things I learned. Before I understood what I was experiencing, I used to get frustrated at my slow brain. Everything was buried beneath fog. I knew the answer to the question, I just couldn't reach the answer. But your brain blots out the parts that would be too painful to remember all the time. It's there to keep us functioning. But if you ever get flashbacks, it's all those memories coming to the surface out of order and out of context. It can be terrifying and confusing and knock you completely sideways. So how can you help someone you love who is experiencing PTSD?